Last Saturday, I updated my eGym BioAge in a gym which had all the eGym machines. So first of all, we take a look at the overall BioAge, which is now 27. My current actual age is 28. The next thing we take a look at is the history. So as you can see here, it has been going up and down. The lowest I ever had it was, I think, 26 or something like this. We can see it here. So this is 24 actually. Then if we go back further, it actually should go down as my chronological age decreases. But since I only started this in November of 2022, there is not that much data on here. The BioAge is made up of 4 different sections. The first one is strength, which are measured by the eGym BioAge machines. The second one is flexibility, which is measured with the eGym Hub. The next one is metabolism, which in my gym, in my old gym, was measured with a in-body scale, I think the 270, and then one can also manually enter hip circumference and waist circumference, and it then calculates a waist to hip ratio. This is the metabolism portion, and then if we take a look at the cardio portion, there is no data automatically pulled in, so I enter this manually weekly, which is quite a little bit of work, so I have been thinking about potentially stopping manually copy-pasting the data in here. Now, the resting heart rate, the blood pressure, and the VO2 max I take from Garmin. So the VO2 max in my case is mostly a running estimate. I did have every now and then a cycling estimate, but I did not find an option as of now to update it frequently. In terms of the time range, one could argue VO2 max is an accumulated peak value. I do not have a blood pressure average, so I take the daily blood pressure of the day of the entry once a week. In terms of resting heart rate, I take the weekly average now because I update the measurements weekly. I previously took the yearly measurements, not the yearly measurements, but the yearly average, which in my case is currently 48, and the 7-day average is currently 50, which also shows quite a little bit of variability already. So this is the graph of basically the last rolling year, and one can see that the resting heart rate goes up and down throughout the year. I then, as of today, entered all of these, and so my cardio age as of now is 24. Now let's take a look at the metabolism portion. So here I entered manually as of measured today my hip circumference as well as waist circumference. This then gives me a waist to hip ratio, and these other values are all based on a in-body measurement which I took also recently last Saturday, which now is a week ago. I can see, for example, my visceral fat level. I can see my lean mass of one leg, of the other leg, of the fat of leg. Fat leg? What is fat leg? Shouldn't this be fat leg? Shouldn't this be fat legs? Fat arm? I think previously there was like a fat of the left leg and fat of the right leg, but it seems that now it's just one value. Body water, body fat, and body fat is also 2 values, which is also slightly weird. Then flexibility. This is measured with the eGym Hub, which is a hub with a camera. One stands with a stick in front of this, and then it measures the deflection of the neck from left to right, as well as the lats, hip, hamstring, and chest. In case you are wondering what this looks like, it's like this. So one stands in front of this hub, then there is also the stick, which one uses for certain measurements. Then down here we have a camera, and this camera then measures basically all of these things and displays you on the screen. This, for example, is the chest flexibility measurement, I think. And this is one of the smart machines. eGym has multiple ones of these. There is a small circuit which consists out of 6, and there is a larger circuit which consists out of, I think, 12 or something like this. In the gym I recently went to, I do have access to all of the machines, which is quite nice because this allows me to then have all the strength measurements, so the 1 rep max strength measurements updated with these machines, and I do not have to take individual strength tests, which would also be something that one could do. For example, one could enter chest press, machine row grip, but also one could enter a few other exercises as well, such as body weight rows, which I sometimes did, but then one has to repeat this as a workout in order to repeat the test, and every test has to be kind of a workout because otherwise I miss the workout and I still then have to afterwards work out. So let's take a look at the upper body. I still have the push-ups entry, for example, in here. this is a 1 rep max value that is calculated basically on the last entry of push-ups. I think there is no option to have the actual push-ups I did displayed, but it just calculates this 1 rep max value. So we have all of the EGYM exercises marked with EGYM. So EGYM lat pull down, last 1 rep max test on last Saturday was 149. Then we have EGYM triceps, EGYM chest press, seated press. Chest press, for example, is again a manual entry, shoulder press, butterfly, reverse flies, and so on and so forth. If you click then on this exercise, you can also see how it developed. But since I only visited this gym, I think 2 or 3 times, I do not have this many values. The previous gym I went to actually had more values. It didn't have more values, but I could go there more often because it was the normal gym, whereas here I have to go to a different location. In terms of the core, also a couple of values. There are all of these different machines. And apparently my lower body is 47, which is not particularly useful in terms of decreasing my body age. It also shows you a muscle balance analysis, and we can see that all of my muscle groups are balanced, which is fairly nice. Then we have the overall bio age, which in my case is 27. I think this is currently next to maybe the not EGYM, but the Technogym wellness age, the, well, most comprehensive bio age analysis. I think there is, apart from Technogym, no other company that makes these bio strength machines where you can do kind of automated workouts, but also these 1 rep max tests that then contribute to the bio age.